what it is. I want to welcome you guys down to Wayvy Grayvy. You are on the main show, and for today, we've got a very, very special episode for you guys. In the house, melodic metal powerhouse from Singapore, We the Villains. Welcome, guys. I'm very, very happy to have you down.
Thank you for having us here.
Finally, I listen to the music. And then now I get to meet them in person. I don't know about you, I'm a fucking happy camper right now. I want to dive in straight to this because I remember before we recorded, I'm talking to the guys, and they are a very close, well-knit, not dysfunctional band. And I want to know, how do you guys initially discover each other? Like, how do you meet? Were you all? Thank you, Jeeves. My man over there. All right. So how do you guys actually get to know? Like, were you all from schoolmates, or I don't know? Please enlighten us.
Tinder, WeChat, Bumble.
Song.com.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so for Nishan and myself, we are pretty much the only original members left. We formed the band in JC, so we're from Jurong JC, and so it's actually how we met each other. And for DJ, we were looking for a vocalist, so we just put out ads on Carousel and Soft.sg before. I mean, the website is still around, but I don't think a lot of people are using it anymore.
I remember Soft.sg a long time ago with my band. Like, there was like a lot of advertisement for like bands right?
I'm not sure if it's still being used as much anymore. In fact, I haven't been on that site for quite a while. Okay. So that's how we met her. Desmond is a mutual friend from Galvin, right? Galvin is our other guitarist.
He's not here today,
he's
right?
not here today. He had to attend to some stuff.
It's alright.
So that's the gist of how we met each other. Yeah.
Okay, so the whole Tinder down now. So behind the scenes.
You can write the narrative.
It's actually very odd because for bands of my age, okay, I'm an older generation. Like, we find people through soft.com, then we say let's meet up and jam. That's where you audition people. This guy, he just emailed me the demo. Hey, here's the demo. Can you record your vocals in? What the? Okay, I don't know. I don't have any tools, so I just went to my bedroom and then I just sang. I just forward to them and say, okay. They say, when are we jamming? Oh, please hold. So it's like they are very younger type of generation, which I'm not used to. But I see something very special in these kids.
I'm coming across as very authoritarian in her recount, but it wasn't like that. I mean, okay, on one hand, like when that we had quite a few people who wanted to join us, then I say until like high demand, but but no, that was before we had any material out. We were basically unknown, right? So I get people who were like, oh, let's just meet and jam, right? We don't need to listen to your originals. Let's just meet and jam and see what happens. And while spontaneity can be quite a good catalyst for creativity, it might be better to see if the base goals are even in line with each other. If we don't establish that, then it's quite likely that it won't work out. So that's why we had the whole demo, and let's plan properly first before we get started. It wasn't like you go and record. That wasn't how it was.
But a very, very, very strategic approach compared to like even when our band first started out. They got one friend, hey, you play drums, you play, hey, go and jam. Okay, we learn this song, we learn that song, we go and play. Okay,
that's how we
jam. So that's how we do it. Every week play covers. Then one day the guitarist, hey, I got this riff. Okay, can I try to play this? And then drummer, hey, get a new song.
I'm not knocking against that approach. In fact, that approach actually, we did exactly the same thing right before we pivoted. Actually, we were a pop punk cover band. If you can even believe that. A lot of the songs that we were playing in the past, at least when we were still in JJ, were from Paramore or from Green Day.
Does Jeevan have anything against Green Day?
Does Jeevan have anything against Green Day? Does Jeevan have anything against Green Day? So we were doing a lot of pop punk covers, and we were having fun basically. So eventually we decided we wanted to get serious. We wanted to have our own sound. We wanted to we had a vested interest in metal, right? So we wanted to do it right, do it well when we first came out of the gate. So it's not to say that we have got the formula down. We are still trying to figure out a lot of things.
All right.
But as much as we could, we will try to plan as much as we can. Get the right people, the right mindset to join, and then we will work forward.
I guess it's true. I mean, there's your approach, and then there's the one that my band did. But I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, different ways to get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's how you get there. That's all. So
Yeah.
different approaches, but you know what matters most is you guys are here. You guys are awesome, and you know, shit, I can't wait to see you guys playing Wacken.
That would be the dream.
I
Yes.
will buy a ticket. I will take leave from work. I don't care. I'll fucking go down. Shit. Okay, very nice. And you know, so talking about melodic metal, because a
Right,
lot of people when they think metal, they think like, let's see, fucking what bands have we got? Gorgoroth, you know, like
Right,
fucking
yeah.
really deep, very you don't understand shit. So you guys are different, it's very melodic, a lot of references here and there. So when it comes to writing your lyrics, all right, you know, where do you get inspiration from? Some people get from literature, some people get from movies, some get from past experiences. So when it comes to writing your songs, where do you guys draw the inspiration from?
Do you want to answer this? DJ?
I think you said most of our lyrics are written based on life, personal experiences, right? Very simple experiences like heartbreaks.
Lots of that. I can relate to
You know,
that.
lots of people, you know.
There's a reason why Taylor Swift earns so much, right?
Taylor Swift and
Being on your own and not following the social norms, you know, this kind of things that really hit hard to us. We felt it, and somehow we had inspiration to really write all those lyrics out. Even though it looks very, how do you say it, very figurative, but the themes are somewhere around there.
I guess I more or less, you know, it sounds figurative like I said, but I guess it's just your sentence structure. But I think if you break it down, it's actually it relates to life experiences as how you experienced it.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, very nice. So because I know like some bands they look at Shakespeare, they look at old literature, then they get their lyrics, but mainly power metal bands lah. So I was just thinking like, what was your approach to it? So now we know. Alright.
I was actually struggling with lyrics, so I said, Yao Long, you're very good, you're better in English, you know what you do. So he said, DJ, you know what I do? I have a word file,
Yeah.
all those very special words, I'll just type it in, and then anytime I have inspiration, I'll try to pick up those words and just string them out.
Of course, yeah. That's the mechanical and the method behind the madness, right? So with tech nowadays, you know, we have Google Drive, we have OneDrive, right? So I mean, Eminem has boxes of lyrics where he writes any rhyme or any particular ideas that he wishes to revisit in the future. There's boxes and boxes of it. We can't do that in Singapore because it's a fire hazard. So, so we do the other approach, right? We use. I personally use Google Drive and
Go green,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Save the trees.
Yeah. So any particular lyrical ideas I have, you know, record it down into a the cloud device. Yeah, I'm sure you heard of Kirk Hammett losing his phone and then losing all of his Metallica guitar solos that he wrote.
That happened?
Yeah, that happened. Look it up. But yeah, so we save everything to a cloud. Everything's on hand. But that's the mechanical and the method, right? If you're talking about sources of inspiration, right? Life experience makes a huge bulk of it. But you know, we can always look at other avenues, right? Religion is a huge aspect,
That's
right?
true.
Even for myself, in our songs we have references to the Bible. Not in a negative or any way like that. We simply tap upon the imagery,
That's
right?
true.
Our impression of what an angel is supposed to be is a human being with wings and a halo around their head, right? But if you look into the imagery that resides within their scripture,
it's totally different.
completely different. Yeah. So I mean, I'm bringing up the idea of the Bible because that is something that is quite commonplace in Singapore.
Well, people
right?
can relate to that.
We can see other imagery in Haw Villa, for example, right? The different levels of hell.
Yes.
You know, giving kids nightmares since 19 something. I don't know, but the way their statues are built, right? You can tap on inspiration from that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it comes from any and everywhere. So I know that's not really an answer to your question, but yeah.
I think it is. It's just you really give the how, like where you draw inspiration from, and then you just elaborated on it, which I think opens up everyone's idea. Because when you just say they're from life experiences and then boom, then you but then now you explain a bit more and then you give more detail. You get a bit from the Bible here and there.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So I mean, I think now when the people hear about this, when they read your lyrics, they try to understand it a bit more.
Yeah.
And it also, now that you told me that, like it goes with life experiences. Now when I read, I'm gonna try. You know, like in school when the teacher says the curtains were blue. go figure out. I think the author meant that it was blue because it was a good day. He was looking. So now I'm gonna think about that whenever I say, what in life does this relate to?
And then the author's in his grave like the curtains were blue, just blue.
Okay, perfect. Oh, nice. What's gonna happen is gonna kick in the first song by Canadian alternative rock band Strange Breed with another awesome track by the name of Witch Hunt. So you guys check this out. Peace. Oh, that was Strange Breed, Witch Hunt. Hope you guys love that. You know, same deal I tell you guys every week. Description, info in the description below. Go give them a follow, Spotify, Instagram. You know, these guys are fucking rocking. So moving on to the next question. You know, I mean, looking at the local scene, if you guys from Singapore, you would understand that it's really tough to get a gig going here in Singapore, because obviously music not that important. So you know,
RIP substation, right?
Oh yeah, man. Like, I want to ask, what is one of the thing that you do not miss when it comes to performing in the whole underground scene over here?
Do you guys want to answer this? I mean, yeah, maybe give them a chance to talk.
Carrying the equipment, I think that I don't miss.
Drummer woes, right?
Yes.
So you got to push a truckload of, like drum cymbals and all, and then you got to set them up. So while everyone else gets ready, like, hey, the guitar is ready, hey, the drummer, the vocalist will just put on the mic.
That easy, right?
Yeah. So the drummer's like setting up the cymbal, setting up the bass drum.
Yeah, you bring your double pedals, your cymbals, you have your own
pedals,
snare, everything.
Yeah. So I think if anything, I don't miss. That's
Load in and load out.
Yeah. But on the contrary, I actually would enjoy the process. Yeah. So I don't miss the parts where I have to set up and tear down the whole time.
It's bringing the
It's
stuff.
bringing it there. Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm going on a gig. Yeah. Let's have fun there. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm a bassist, obviously, because I am short, I am dark, I am bald. So following the
except for the ball part.
there we go. So following the stereotype, it should be the bassist. Like, how is it as a bassist when setting up? Because I've only ever played one gig before, and just go there, plug in, tune the guitarist. Hey, okay, start. So I don't know how is it done, like on your level. Like how is it?
On my level, it's similar. It's just that I need to plug in the pedal board as well. So usually just plug in, tune. Okay, good to go. That's it.
So it's still pretty plug and play. Just make sure.
Yeah, right.
Make sure. Okay, this is out of the questions that I gave you guys, but just it hit my mind because we will tune with the guitarist everything before we go up, right? Then what happens if suddenly before the gig slightly out of tune?
That's happened more than once, man.
How do you solve? Because when we played our gig, when we played our first song, it was really out of tune. So my guitarist had to stop playing the fucking rhythm and just play a lead, so that it will not sound off. So how do you guys cope with that mid song?
Yeah, every time you play off, your solos are always off sometimes.
This one would be, I don't know.
No, I don't disagree with that. There are times when I go off. I mean, I can't blame it on the instrument. Yeah, I mean, being in tune, you have two choices, right? Either stop the entire song and then I tune, and then you bring the entire show to a halt, right? Or learn to tune on the fly, right? And sometimes it's a live show, right? People are moshing, headbanging, things are happening all over the place. There's like backdrops and stuff, right? Everyone can focus on something else while you tune up, and while the rest of the band keeps going, and then you re-enter at the right spot. Yeah, so those are the only two options that I can think of.
I think we should have done that instead of just moving down to the lead.
The drums and bass are also very important. So let's say if just one small part you have a space there, right? You just continue towards the next part. The drums and bass will maintain the beat.
Actually, that's true also. If you're going for one guitarist setup, if you got two, that's the best lah.
Right.
One guy can play and
Of course, yeah.
So you should tell them there were many times you played and then your string broke, right?
Yeah, so many times.
That's so aggressive when you play.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how I play. I mean, I have a heavy. I get into it, lah.
So that one, you have another guitar on standby, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so there was one moment of silence, but we continued the beats and we just cover.
Yeah, drum and bass.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Alright, so I mean, just a personal question. So I just was wondering, I never.
Gig survival skills. Yeah. So I mean, even these two methods are not the only ways to do it, right? There are times when the frontman can alright, let's just give them a break and then we'll do something else. I did left side. Like try to engage the crowd.
There's a lot of
while like the two guitarists are like, what do we do? There's different ways to approach it, and even then we haven't encountered all of the possible scenarios, right? We would have liked to do this last year, but things didn't happen. So yeah.
Alright, there we go. And we'll move aside from music for a minute.
Sure.
And being in a band is like being in a family. There's always disagreements here and there,
right.
And when it comes to dealing with creative processes, everyone thinks differently. So I mean, how throughout your whole career as a band, how do you guys resolve if there are any conflict of interest? Like maybe I want the riff to sound like this, but then maybe I think you should do it like that, or similar instances. How do you guys solve issues such as that?
Okay, I think let's let Nishan and Desmond answer this first, then maybe I can provide additional insight if needed. But I think the two of them will be able to answer this quite well.
So when we talk about like differing perspectives on how it should be done, yes, I think two guitarists usually will clash on this. But as a whole, we will always give our opinion. Like, okay, maybe you play it this way, and you play how you want to play, and we see which sounds better. Because in the end, we want to do what sounds better. So we have everyone's opinion, and then we say, okay, actually, this sounds better. So we continue with that, and the other person will eventually actually accept it. Yeah.
Okay. So it's more like you play yours, I play mine. They vote to see which one they want.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think it's good. I mean, you play the riff, you play both riffs, and then just see how it sounds. And fair enough. Okay.
Anything, Desmond?
From my perspective, I will just play something that's acceptable to everyone.
So do you anytime as a drummer when you're playing say no but you play yourself like you show me how to play now. You don't want me to do this, you don't want me to do that. Okay, you show me how. Has that ever crossed your mind before?
Yeah.
I mean, well, you can imagine that will happen like a fucking down pedal here. No, like that. You show me you play. You can or not? You cannot play.
Because the guitarist is not here, so. Yeah, so
I think at the end of this interview in the call SPC, there's like cats everywhere, man.
Yeah, you see me hanging somewhere already.
Okay,
but yeah, I mean, I think it's both ways. Yeah. So on one end, I would try to come up with creative stuff, and then I'll let the band know, I got something new. Can I try it out with you all? And then they'll just play it to the when we're jamming or when you're playing. So after that, then everyone give their feedback, and then we'll come to a consensus. I think for me, I feel that if everyone is seeing the big picture and then they give their input, then that will work because it's for the band. Yeah, we're coming together to do it. And if my idea doesn't fit very well, then it shouldn't be used. Yeah, we should stick to what's feasible, what's working.
Alright, fair enough.
And also I listen to how each of them is playing and listening, and how my parts can fit in also. So I think in a way I need to relate, and that's how I solve or I actually attempt to bridge like conflicts and all that. Like how do I actually put my part in without overwriting his or her parts, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Understandable. Fine. I mean, that's a nice way to do it. And DJ, there must have been times where you heard the riff and like, maybe I want it a bit different. Has that ever happened?
Actually, never. I really like the two guitarists riff. That's part of the reason why I joined in the band. But I just find guitarists too loud, always covering vocals. So I asked them to soften down, and they kind of listen.
Yes, even my guitarist is the same. Can I hear anything?
I cannot
personal experience.
In my
yeah, many times at the end of the jam, my ears went ringing. I was like, what?
In my defense,
yes.
the past few practices, I'm always too soft.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Right?
Fair.
In my defense.
So there are times when I find them to say, can you up the volume? So, but I think all in all, the plus point about this band is despite our differences, and we do have a bit of, we are stronger in certain parts, but we make effort to listen. We listen and hear from another perspective and throw in ideas, right? So this is where the band actually grows and creatively.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say.
All right, nice. So that's a lot. I guess I conclude from here. There's a lot of compromise actually. Yeah. But aside from that, before the compromise comes in, at least you guys give everyone a chance to you play your riff, play along, and then we try mine, and then we work from there. Well, I think that's very healthy. Rather than I've heard instances where some people just shut them out. No, I want a riff like this is done. I think that's not very healthy.
Well, there are times when that is required, but I don't think it's to the point where it's so heavy-fisted. Desmond, I've never done that before. But okay, just to bring up an example, some of the songs that we are currently recording, right, we'll be hoping to release at the end of this year. Yes. Right. Yeah. So some of the songs, there are certain aspects of it that we can't let go. Like for example, certain sections we have to have 16 double bass parts. Where it goes on the double bass on the drums. Whatever he does apart from that, I'll be hands off. But as long as he retains that part, right, he's free to riff on anything else. Yeah. And I think I do the same approach for all the other instruments, because as much as I want this to be a democracy, right, at the end of the day, someone has to be a decision maker, right? We can all try to make one decision, but if we just leave it to market forces or free forces, things will take a while to complete. So I think the best compromise, like as a leader or like as somebody who has to make the decision, right, is to put it all out there and then come to a consensus and then bring that consensus while retaining some of the autonomy.
Fair enough. Again, that's true. But at the end of the day, like music, no matter what, it is the same as writing. There has to be sentence structure. It has to make sense. So what I'm guessing is when you have your 16th, you have to have that backbone. But as long as there is that, you can add any embellishments you want, which fair enough lah. Because a lot of people don't realize the fact that no matter what, even though it's music, it is still like writing. It has to make sense. So I mean, that's nice. I mean, I like the fact that you have this, you must follow this backbone because it has to make sense. And then however you want to add your embellishments around it, it's fine. Okay, nice. And talking about embellishments, the next song I'm going to play by this local band, I played their song before on the show, which is on top of my head now, I cannot remember the song. But the next one coming up, Bikini Bottom, is by this band Woes. And if you guys haven't heard them, you can hear them today. Very technical, but a lot of times when it comes to technical, some people won't understand. Like if you listen to Death, a lot of people won't understand what they're playing. But rest in peace. But when it comes to Woes, check out the guitars, the drums, the bass, like the whole band. They are talented. So Bikini Bottom from Woes, check them out. Peace.
Away and I fell down.
Bikini Bottom, hope you guys love that shit. You might need to replay to really try and catch those riffs, and I suggest you do that, because just keep replaying that shit, you will fall in love with the melody. And moving on. There are so many genres of metal, you know.
Right.
You have melodic death metal, you have thrash, you have symphonic. Is shoegazing considered metal? Doom, there's doom metal.
Right, yeah.
No, there's so many genres. So when
Sludge as well.
oh, really, I never heard of
Sludge
that one.
metal.
Sludge metal. So given the fact that there's this pool of different subsections, does it make it easier or make it more difficult for you to come up with the recipe that makes We the Villains? Does it help or is it more difficult?
Let's do a vote.
Okay, no, okay. Okay, so there's two elements to the question, right? The first one, like the old material and the material that we're working on. So maybe Nishan can pitch in for the material that we are working on currently. So what do you think?
What was the question?
The blending of genres. The
Let this run. It's cool.
the blending of genres to achieve something new.
Okay, so I guess from my perspective, I'm actually not very into like metal. Actually, I'm a pop punk person. So that's why when we were in JC, we were doing like pop punk cover bands lah, and then we went into metal. So we are putting out a new song called Alive, and that actually has more pop punk elements to it, but we also make it more metal. So it's really a fusion of different genres. We cannot say there is only one genre kind of thing, you know. Yeah, so this also applies to like the other songs. We have fundamentally different songs like 6-4 and Ox and the Lazy. They're quite different. Yeah, so in one album we can have different genres in a way lah. But that's We the Villains.
Yeah.
But that's your style lah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Then you have anything to add?
We are very different in our own ways. You know, we have different influences. Like her is pop punk, yours is J.
J metal.
J metal.
Okay, what is that? What is J metal?
Japanese metal.
What's Japanese?
Like
Loudness.
Huh?
Loudness, is that considered Japanese
Yeah,
metal?
that's one of them.
I didn't know loudness actually.
Yeah, so I lean towards things like Galnerius, Sex Machine Guns,
Yeah.
X Japan, yeah, kind of stuff.
Ah yes, X Japan is the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's into
Everything.
Yeah.
Primarily, been listening to quite a bit of power metal really, but you know, being to deathcore. These guys, amazing local band as well. Ebrietas, I see.
Oh, the vocalist Azhar.
Yeah,
he trains in the same gym as me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. he works for Ritual, right? But he trains in 5G.
Right.
So
I see,
yeah,
I see.
I think I played one of the songs the other time. Scorched Earth.
Scorched Earth, yeah.
I did not know he's a vocalist, like, because he's very nice, very relaxed.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I see pictures of this, and then when I heard the music, wow,
Right.
Okay,
Brutal,
okay.
right? So yeah, it's an outlet for all of us. Lah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think out of all of them, my tastes are probably the most diversified. I think I'm into neo soul, I'm into jazz, right? Listening to the standards quite lately. You know, even one of the bands that we featured, right? Q's. They are in the, I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're in the math rock subgenre. So there's bands like bands like Polyphia, Corvette, if you want, Chon, right? These three come to mind. So they are the same vibe of music where the parts are, or in my opinion, supremely complicated, and there is no more lead and rhythm guitar. They are just guitar, you know.
Yeah, like
so,
both playing their own thing, right?
Yeah. So with regards to combining elements of genres, it is difficult, especially if you want to try to blend something that sounds extremely happy, extremely in a major key, blend it with a sad or a dark kind of atmosphere, or even the lyrical themes, right? Certain songs sound very happy, but if you look into it, the lyrics are a little bit messed up, right? I think the Police does this quite a bit, yeah. So not the Singapore Police Force, but like the band called the Police. Right?
I mean, sometimes quite sad. I mean, I don't know. Like, 5 people only taser one guy. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. So I guess that's from my perspective. The blending of genres, exposing yourself to multiple genres, I think is the key. It makes things easier to see everything as a whole. Your friend, I think, Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah,
He was a church friend.
church friend.
I actually used to go to church.
Right, yeah. He was my second guitar teacher, I think, and he has this quote that still stuck with me after so long, and I think it was one of the biggest takeaways from the lessons I had with him. Music is like pizza, right? You are doing yourself a disservice by just having one slice. Of course, if you're on a diet, you're doing yourself a service by having just one slice. But if you, I think his intention was for me as a musician, I think to his other students, to experience as much as possible. His genre, which is a strange blend of R&B and vaporwave, I think, got me into R&B and vaporwave.
Okay. Yeah, Aaron is one of a kind.
Yeah, it's strange.
He gives me that Prince vibe.
Yeah, does his own thing, right? Yeah, so that's the very, very long-winded answer to your question. The blending of genres.
Nice. Long-winded is good. It gives us a more detailed answer. Like if this was an exam, you get full marks because your working is all there. Rather than 1 + 1 is 2, you actually give working. So
thanks.
Full points for that. Then these days, compared to music before, like we were talking earlier on when there was Sabbath.
Right.
How it was just plug and play. It was really raw, just drums, bass, guitars, vocals. Well, as time passes by, then we have all our software. You can add in the strings, the symphonies at the back, your MIDI and whatever. Any pressure over there? I mean, like, do you guys feel the need to, because this is happening, I have to introduce these new, how would I say, advancements to my sound?
For me, no, because I don't give a shit. Sorry.
I like that.
You guys?
I think at first, before we were actually like thinking of adding synth and all those like orchestral music, but one thing I think Yarong brought up was he wants to retain the live feel. So what we can bring live, we also have to bring to our recording. So because of that, we are trying to keep it more. How would you say, unedited? No, not unedited.
Raw.
Keeping it real.
Yeah,
Right?
correct.
Authentic,
Keeping it real,
Yeah.
Of course.
authentic.
Of course. Yeah. So obviously, we can try as much as we can, but there are certain limitations to the ideal. Where if you were to stick strictly to our band structure, right? There is one lead guitar and one rhythm guitar. If we do that in a recording, right, it's going to sound too empty. Right, so one thing that I think quite a few engineers do, they do this thing called panning. So where they record the same guitar part and they pan it left and right, and that fills up the sonic space. As listening. So if I were to be like, no, we must be exactly the same as we are live in the studio, that's not feasible as well. And then on the other hand, externally, right, bands are constantly evolving, right, and one way they can evolve is to add different kinds of sounds, obviously, right? But then you have bands like Q's, you have bands like Woes, you have bands like all those other math rocky, progressive rock bands that are constantly pushing the envelope by playing the same instruments, but they play them differently. So that's how they can evolve to change their sound to fit the times. Yeah. So conforming to external pressure, I don't really feel it. And I don't think the rest of them feels the same way also. It could be also because the music that we listen to is like more or less stuck in the past, So we don't really keep up to the trends as much as we would like to. Yeah.
We do try to explore one.
Yeah, we do try to explore having some certain little elements here and there to see if it fits. But as a whole, I don't think we are overnight. Let's have 3,000 synthesizers all with different parts. Like, we don't do that, right? Yeah, so.
Yes, that's true. But I mean, it's nice because the fact that personally, if I listen to a band, I want to hear the same thing live. Like there are some bands, they're fucking shock. You listen on record, and then we hear them live. Like, this one the band or the neighbor playing? It's like it's the same thing. You go on Tinder, you see, and then when you meet up. Your neighbor? Well, I'm not. I'm actually looking for Janelle. You are Jeffrey. It's the same thing. Like, you feel cheated. Yeah. Okay, but like, so one of the main things I like about you guys is you sound the same live as on record, which is
It's very high praise.
It's truth should be what it is, and I don't know. Courts of Hell, right? The new
Obsession.
Xander should be coming out later as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'll be coming out, and so they got the new track out, Obsession.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it is not in English. So when I first heard Obsession, the title is in is it in
Chinese,
Mandarin?
yeah,
It's
it's in
Chinese, right?
Chinese, yeah.
Then when I listened to the song, like, wait, why I don't understand the lyrics? Oh, fuck, I like it even more. Because like it can be whatever I want it to be. Because I don't understand Mandarin. Lah. So, Courts of Hell's latest track, Obsession. Check this shit out. Peace. Courts of Hell Obsession. If you're not obsessed with this, I don't friend you anymore. Just go listen to these guys. Courts of Hell, 2-piece, but they make it sound like an army is playing. So, prop to Courts of Hell. So now, we talked about how you get your lyrics done. Is it from life experiences and how so? And I have 4 sentences from different songs. Just if you can, just try and enlighten me. So, looking through the lyrics kind of caught my eye. So I would like to know more about it, as opposed to early on, the curtains were blue. So why? Instead of asking why, let me ask the author.
Okay, sure.
Is it because the curtains are blue, or is there another reason? So, the first one is from your song Antioch. Our fears have been alive. They will never understand. Rejection, ostracized. Our blood will never fit in this land. So, what's going on over there?
You can take the words at face value. They mean exactly what they mean. Okay, well,
who made you feel like that? I hammer the floor. How dare you use my favorite band?
Okay, before I even give meaning to those words, right, part of the joys of being a songwriter, right, is when people listen to a track that you wrote and they derive their own meaning, right? So, with regards to Antioch, the dichotomy exists between the verse and the chorus. Within the verse, it's the cries of the oppressed, basically, hence the sentence structure that you saw. In the chorus, it's the retribution that those who are oppressing faces in the future. So, well, that's the entire meaning of the song. It's out there, yeah.
But it's like really, really heavy, man. And it's good. So usually, if I listen to the song, I like the song, I'll go check out the lyrics, because then somehow or other the song makes so much more sense. You get more in love with the song.
Right.
It's just that you have that connection. So alright, so that was Antioch, straight face value.
Yeah.
Next one is from Ox and the Lazy. First song I play with you guys. So this one is A Paradise Waits. Rest for your pain. Sleep with the whispers of angels. A moment too late. At the end, an end to your head. Rest with the basis of a newborn child.
Well, for this particular song, right, the chorus itself is extremely different from how the verse sounds like, right? The verse is all pure dirt vocals, and then the chorus is like an operatic pillow of sounds, right? You can really chill and rest on it. So the lyrics itself, paint to the lies that people in power tells those who are raging against them, right? We will, chill out. It's all good. It's fine.
Yeah,
right?
the Trace Together token is just only for signing in and signing out. Yes.
I don't want to make it political, but no. You see examples of this happening all over the world, right? That was just one example. When in the States, right, Portland riots, during their so-called darkest period before a certain orange man got voted out of office, right? He constantly tells his constituents, everything's fine. By Easter, the virus will be gone, right? And he keeps telling them, things will get better. And it's all lies. Whereas the people who are being oppressed, they are texting him on Twitter, telling him, we voted for you, could you please help us? We need your help. And then, people from outside, they laugh at these people. Haha, you voted, you have your own retribution. But I think it's sad, right? When those who are in power are not answering to the people who put them in power in the first place. Yeah, so that is the gist of that song, the Ox and Lazy. The title itself is a reverse portmanteau. A portmanteau is when you join two words together, like a biology and a picture, a biopic. Ox and Lazy is the reverse of that. So we take one word and we expand it. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it, but take some time, look around this country and see how that will match.
Yes, take some time and pay attention. But I like the fact that aside not only from good songwriting, the lyrics itself is a whole different thing where there's so much to explore.
Yeah.
So it just gives people an extra. It gives you band an extra edge, because then you're not just only there for your melody. There is substance to the lyrics, which I think gives you that the edge against other bands, because sooner or later melody runs out.
Right.
After a while you listen, and then you get fatigued. And then after a while, listen, this, and read the lyrics, and it's good. So, very, very rare to find a band like that.
Thank you.
2 more songs to go. Unravel.
Right, yeah.
unraveled in glass houses and mirrored towers. My mind screams out while my mouth says, "Stay shut."
This one is a lot less political. This was written when one of our ex-band members decided to go overseas to study, right? So at the time, I think a lot of things weren't really going well in my personal life. So again, this genre and this band is a form of outlet for the rest of us, for all of us, right? So I poured my heart out into the lyrics, and that was exactly how I felt at the time. It is human experience, human emotion that DJ mentioned, right? We are constantly maintaining a veneer of normality in society, right? When things are, when there is a invisible killer out there, we are expected to, stay functional. Hence the glass house. We can't just flip cars and throw everything out. Like, we have to maintain that sense of normality, right?
It would be easier to do that if you could.
Yeah, and mirrored towers is basically, in Singapore, we don't really live in houses, we live in HDBs. So if something breaks, right, it's possible that the entire structure will come crumbling down. So covered in mirrors, it can cause a ripple effect outwards. So in my mind, I'm constantly screaming for help, asking, hoping that things will change, but if it doesn't, my mouth stays shut. Yeah. So hence that particular line, that's the story behind that line. When things are at my worst, I have to maintain my, a sense of normalcy and try to function as a human being. Even though you can't really express yourself, you can try, and it's important to have a support group. It's important to have friends and family who listen to you.
Very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do know of people who are out there who are suffering alone, right? They don't have that support. If they are looking for help, they have to shell out cash, which they might not have on hand. So, as a society, I was hoping, if there is someone who has no outlet for themselves, if they listen to this track, they can at least relate and know that someone else has felt what they are feeling, and that, they are not alone. Yeah.
So now, whenever I listen to this song, I'm gonna have a whole different view to it, because like I said, the first I listen to the melody, I like it, but then once I listen to I read the lyrics and I understand, it just brings a whole different meaning to the song. I don't know if you can feel me on this. Like when you finally understand the lyrics and then you piece it with the melody, like sometimes it's literally like a hair and stand.
Yeah.
I mean, no hair here, but still. So but I'll keep it up. And the last one. So the song, is it 6/4 or 64? Because I heard you say 6/4 earlier.
6/4. Yeah, it's called 6/4.
Okay, because 65, like 64, like man.
65 Singapore.
Chicken 65 satu man. 6/4 makes more sense. Alright, so before I get you the lyric from the song, so when I teach classes, your song is in my playlist. So when there's a few times when on different occasions when the song came on, so they were doing the drills and all, I noticed at least one or two people when the song comes on like. like, wow, yes, you listen to them. I'm thinking, shut me down. You listen to this. You should. Yeah, no. So fuck. You guys got good shit, man. Okay. And here we go. Lies and deception. Pull all my strings by the girl who grew her own wing.
I think don't take this as a slight, but I've been answering for the past few lines already, right? So, like I said, I love it when people derive their own meaning from the lyric. So I'm going to sabo the three of them. I'm going to ask them what they think the song actually means.
I think we should do that.
Sure, absolutely. Okay.
I think you're just relating your past heartbreak experience in this song, and then you just. Well, I mean, we can extrapolate in different people's lives, right? It's not about being manipulated by someone really irritating. So you felt like you're being a puppet, right? So you're being fed in lies, being put the strings on because you're a puppet. So you have strings around you being put on. So that's how I felt it when I sang that song. But it's still relatable, right? In your case, it could be something, but for me, it can be any other things when I felt manipulated in every part of life, be it work or it doesn't happen, but sometimes, I think people can still feel it. Yeah.
When you ask a drummer,
Exactly.
the drummer doesn't listen to the vocal.
He's honest. His honesty at his best.
Strike two.
Strike two. Okay, I'm kidding. Actually, don't listen. Yeah. So, I think how I felt when I was listening to lyrics was that I think society, in some way, we are like puppets functioning. Yeah. So, be it in work environments or in places, you have rules, you have policies, you have boundaries you need to set. They are set by these environments, and then there are people from above who will string you, and then they will say that, do my bidding, do this bidding, do that. I think that's what it means along these lines. Like, you're very manipulated by these external forces, these environments, and this is what this part of the song is trying to express. Yeah. So that's that.
The drummer does pay attention. or like maybe he knew this was gonna happen, so last night. Last minute, they homework. This is how I feel about it. No, I'm on your side, bro. I'm saying, it could have happened, And yes, fellow bassist.
Okay, so I think I know a story behind it. If I'm right.
Oh yeah, JC friends.
Yeah. So it is about a girl who did grow her own wings. Yeah. So it's more of like how he felt when that happened, and it's a very metaphorical but very, very real kind of. Yeah, the lyrics is just very real, very how you felt at that point.
Alright.
So are we right?
Of course.
Yay!
So basically, in actual fact, so it's about a girl, right? So basically, this is a story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Actually, for me, I see more of being a puppet. Yeah, being a puppet.
They're all not wrong, right? When the main motivator was heartbreak, right? But at the same time, I don't ever lose sight of what is happening in the world, right? Just because I'm experiencing heartbreak doesn't mean that people out there are all living colorful and rainbow lives. It's easy to think of that. When you go out, all you can see is like happy couples and all that.
Yeah,
but what
true.
you miss is that one kid who just lost his first love, for example, or a lady who got cheated on, walking by, looking down on the ground. You don't notice these people.
That's true.
Right? So, and then as a whole, when you are being strung along in your company, right? Exxon and Mobil, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have CEOs and people in power who are constantly being paid fat checks and big bonuses, and then you have cleaners and maybe people who are just trying to stay alive, right? Day to day, struggling to pay their bills.
There is no justice. Basically.
Yeah, there's dependence on them, right? So, she's right. The main motivator for writing this song, heartbreak. But at the same time, we can derive deeper meaning from the lyrics, from the two of them. So this is what I like about writing lyrics, right? When someone else reads, or even poems, right? When someone else reads your material, they don't just. Of course, the fun is gone if you're like, so what does this mean? And then I tell you face value, you do get an additional layer of understanding. But when you try to derive a whole different meaning by yourself, and then as you listen to a track, you see the world differently. That to me is my main goal as a musician. To get people to relate to what you are writing. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So but I don't like the fact that it was a heartbreak, but the fact that a heartbreak produced this. So sometimes it takes a little sacrifice.
Yeah.
You get that, but heart not broken anymore. Right?
No, of course not.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
very, very happily engaged right now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
See, you were meant to break his heart. You don't mean anything anymore. I don't know, I'm just assuming over here. But, moving on to the next song.
Yeah.
One of my most favorite Malaysian bands, Captain Trips and the Kid. I played that song Dharma Chakra Parachute before. And now I'm gonna play a song entitled Pond. So, these guys, don't quote me, but it just sounds that something you would experience when you get a little bitness over there. Not that I try anything, it's totally illegal in Singapore. But these guys are very, very trippy, very hippie. So, Captain Trips and the Kid, Pond, check them out. Peace. Captain Trips and the Kid that was pawned, give Malaysia a holler. I know, right? Witness. And if you miss, I don't know if you really can see, but you know, I'm not being racist, but he is quite dark.
I mean, it's a light, sure, why not?
You know, so you need shed some light on Jeeves. So finally, we got us Jeeves in person over here. So you know,
In the flesh.
do your thing, bro.
You know, I was trying to find the courage to come up here since it was a live set, you know, but I think you gotta be hero of your own story. I mean, the villains are already here.
Timing, bro.
Oh man, you gotta dive right into it. Alright, so let's kick off this segment with a really classic joke of mine. This particular joke that I used to. Whatever joke I say, please, I hope we don't get cancelled. Okay, alright, so I got arrested at this New Year's Eve party last year, you know, for punching a guy. Turns out when you see a Muslim man start counting down from 10, your instincts just kick in.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
No.
When you see a Muslim man start counting down from 10, right, your instincts just kick in. I'm so sorry.
Are you giving Jeeves shit or like you?
Seriously, you don't understand. Yeah, I told you.
Okay, let's see if you get the next one.
Okay.
Okay, you guys ready?
What? Are we serious?
Let's see. Now, not a good idea. So
Okay.
So like, okay, I like to diversify my humor. So like, if you all got that one, you didn't get that one. Okay, let me give you a joke that you can get.
Okay.
My uncle has 2 dogs. He calls them Rolex and Timex. Turns out that he's watchdogs.
Okay, that one. Okay, that one I get it, but
Come on, you got
not all of them are winners.
Okay. No. You can't make everyone happy, you know. Okay. Alright, this is
but that one I got it.
But did you enjoy it? That was the real question.
Yeah. Better than his jokes.
Okay.
I'm a musician, not a
Guys,
comedian.
take your beef outside. Okay. Next one, alright? This one's we're going to go a bit dark here, okay?
Okay.
Like you?
As dark as it gets, bro. Alright, right. What did a kid with no hands get for Christmas?
Gloves.
Hey, this is actually quite true, but sadly he hasn't unwrapped his present yet, bro.
He has not unwrapped his present.
You're laughing, you're gonna help.
Okay. Took me a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
You're talking about hell. Courts of hell at the
Court of
back.
hell,
You
right,
can see a
guys.
GCO there. What's up? Oh man, alright. So you're talking about hell.
Alright. Guys, I broke up with my girlfriend last week. Right? But so out of revenge, I stole her wheelchair. Guess who came crawling back?
People's children.
Okay, last one I think you all can appreciate. Right? I think I decided, you know what? Why not a metal joke? Okay. How many metal heads does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
None. They just embrace the darkness. Cheers, my savages.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Embrace the darkness. Yeah.
He came out with a joke the other day. I want you to tell him the one about the incest. This is the last one.
Oh my
This
God.
one.
Okay.
Oh my God.
It's more of an icon joke. I didn't get it at first, but after
let's see if you can get this one.
Okay.
What do you call a child born out of incest? Gross domestic product.
Oh my God.
Yes! I found the one that you got. I have found the
that one
one.
is so sick yet so nicely done.
You have to understand, like when I come up with these jokes and I do research for these jokes, right? There's a fine line that you have to straddle between getting arrested and then.
What is up, Jason?
My man, Jason.
You can wave to the camera since you're here already.
Yeah, bro. Making a debut, Jason, on his OnlyFans. Don't forget.
I'll let you know his OnlyFans account once he puts it up.
Tips for tips, guys. Don't forget. But yeah, so I hope you guys like that one. Gross domestic product.
Okay, you need to tell me the count 10 to whatever.
Alright. Okay, that one I tell you off camera.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on before I get into any more trouble. You guys been in the local scene.
Yeah.
You guys, everyone knows you. You know them. Name me at least one band that you think is super underrated.
Like criminally underrated.
Resurrect.
Resurrect?
Resurrect.
No. Resurrects. Yeah, that's DJ's pick. Yours?
Okay.
Okay, yours?
So
Okay,
I want to check that band out though. I want to.
Yeah, Resonate's a very modern sounding gent band that I have a lot of respect for.
If you know their contact, I would love to get in touch with them.
Sure. Actually, I think they're on Spotify. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So
Resonate,
there's-
right?
Well, for myself, I think there's 3. So when you say underrated, I'm assuming you mean like unknown, right? Because
Yeah, which-
some bands are underrated in the mainstream, but in the local scene, they are very, very well respected. Right.
Yeah,
So an example of these bands would be Die Fallen Kingdom. They are death metal. Garapao, which is I think power violence. So their songs are extremely short, but the amount of energy they have in those tracks are like amazing. And that's one aspect of live shows that I really, really miss. The energy that they bring to the stage is insane. Yeah. And the third one I think is Approaching a Failure. So they are an instrumental band that are quite modern sounding as well, math rock sounding. So yeah, I think these 3 bands off the top of my head, they are the most they deserve of more recognition. Yeah.
Give me a minute. Approaching a Filian, right?
Yeah.
EPP.
Right now they're approaching fame, I tell you.
See, so sad.
My bad.
I message them, they didn't message me back.
Oh.
No, lah, but I think it's because usually when I message bands, my message goes to the spam folder. I think it's the same with you guys as well. It went to your spam folder, so I'm lucky that some of them maybe they check and then they get
Yeah,
back.
there's a general folder. I think they changed it. So there's a general folder in the inbox now. So yeah, I think most.
So most of my messages go there. So like some bands, I'm like those really pushy salesmen. I maybe this message might have missed you, but hopefully you're reading it right now.
Bro, the insurance industry needs you, bro.
No way. But Approaching a Filian, I love the music.
Yeah.
Man. Just hope you guys are watching this can get in contact with you. I would love to play it on the show.
Yeah.
And how about you, Kujang? Any band you think that's underrated?
Underrated. Not
Or maybe I wouldn't say underrated, just that they deserve more of the glory than what they are getting right now.
I'm not very sure because honestly, I don't really attend the local shows often. Yeah, so I'm not very sure.
Okay, fine, no worries. We'll move on to the next one, which is everybody's favorite topic: food. You can see it's mine. Put on so much weight from my last fight. But it's be a bitch to cut. If you could be a dish, what would it be and why?
Okay, so our response, we're gonna
Nice.
dedicate it to our guitarist, Galvin. It's for you. So let's start.
A nice plate.
Or fresh steaming.
Hot nasi kangkang.
With cucumber sauce.
Wow, that is very
Talk
niche.
about a local side, like a local genre.
Will we hear the backstory to this?
God.
Our guitarist, who's not here, he likes everything about cuckoo birds. Whatever thing we say, right, he will just associate it with
Dick
pig.
jokes.
Dick joke.
Dicks, yeah, dicks. So and then the 2 guitarists would they just like move their dicks around in front of each other, you know. So
Things must be
yeah.
always hard for him.
You guys should hang out with him. There's a lot of that shit.
To my fiance, that's not true.
Yes, that is not true.
Okay, anyway, the backstory to that was he owns quite a few T-shirts that are quite interesting.
I love those t-shirts.
Yeah. So he wore one that said nasi goreng.
Yeah.
Very innocent dish.
Was it the NASA t-shirt that says nasi
No.
goreng?
It's that would have been a good idea. But his was Supreme. So it's a play on the Supreme logo. Nasi goreng.
Okay.
And then we were playing. He wore that shirt to a live show once, and then surprise, my gear started malfunctioning. So in the middle of changing it out, you know,
We
he
made
sta-
him
yeah,
say a story about.
Yeah, he started explaining to the crowd what nasi kangkang was. And we realized like the more he spoke, the more people were going like.
Like,
He was like, imagine it's a bowl of rice and okay, let's start the game.
Where was this gig at?
Live and.
you all just invented a new
live-
genre, erotic
live
metal.
band.
Like, you all just start playing and then it's just like get turned on.
The guy see,
Yeah,
he's
live
pretty
and.
I'm surprised though. It's a local thing, nasi kangkang. I would assume a lot of people would have known about it. Not eaten it.
My bad. I mean, I assume if they're made to eat, right? Like, food is meant to be edible, right?
Wow, gee.
If you cook it, you eat it. So, you know, it has to serve its end purpose.
Yeah.
I mean,
Am I wrong? Right? You
God.
Yeah, it's got a purpose.
I mean, I'm sure there were people in the crowd who knew right off the bat what it was, but you could tell there were certain people who were like,
Right,
what is this guy talking about? And then the more he explained, like the more they were horrified they got.
It's like, okay, next song.
And the best part was like my gear was already functioning. I was just waiting for it to finish. I didn't give any heads up that I was done. I was just like, keep going.
You know what he should have done before I started? And we're like, okay, so if any of you go back and try this and it works, please DM me and let me know.
How do we go from, well, how would you describe yourself as dishes to, there's this dish called nasi kangkang. That if you eat, right, you will fall in love with this girl. I can't, it's just...
Okay,
Now, in his fiance's defense, I don't think he needs to make one anymore.
Oh, you're dead.
Before Jeeves says anything else, let's move to the next song because I don't know what else Jeeves is going to come up and this show might have to be taken down. The next song is by Singaporean. Because I'm a fan of power metal, folk metal. You know, like NC Ferrum, and then you have Rhapsody. Stratovarius not as much as folky, but you know this band Could Be Grace. This current song Ebrietas it just makes me think I'm back in the medieval times fighting dragons and shit. So check this one out by Could Be Grace, Ebrietas. Peace. Cooply Grace, Ebrietas, right? Take off your dancing shoes, sit down. We're almost done over here.
We miss you guys.
You know them in person?
Yeah.
Oh, so nice. Alright. So maybe try and get in contact, try and get this down to the show. Hint, hint. And COVID, like I said, every time we talk about COVID, it's fucked everything up. And as a band, as a professional boxer as well, no live shows, no fights, nothing. It's kind of fucked up lah. And with this said, there are live streams. And is there anything coming up for We the Villains that people out there can look forward to?
Well, not within the near future, because like I said, the band is currently working on our next release. So at least within the next few months, you can just expect to see new tracks being released. After that, I do see the government trying. They do have live shows at the Esplanade Riverside stage now, I think. But it's a seated concert. If we can have things like this in a private venue, that would be amazing. Of course, we won't have the same vibe. Like, I don't think mosh pits are allowed because it goes against the whole idea of social distancing, right? But even having the opportunity to just play to a live audience as opposed to a camera, we will spring for that. But I guess concretely, we are planning to record certain playthrough videos maybe, and then put them out on YouTube. I don't think there's any plans for a live stream at the moment.
Alright. You guys heard it there, but look out for that whole pre-recorded set though. I would love to see that when it's out.
Yeah.
So and final question, the one I like to ask everybody, because basically everyone wants relationship advice out there. So hit me up, guys. What advice have you got for the
Single, lonely, and desperate people.
for you lah, basically?
all three years basically sums me up. What relationship would you have for me in terms of advice?
Tinder, WeChat, Bumble. No, I'm kidding.
Soft? No.
Someone get my phone.
Okay, I think maybe DJ would be in the most suitable position to answer this right now.
I think last time when you guys were in down period, Auntie DJ will always say, right? To take your own time to find the right one.
Don't live life too fast.
Don't rush on it. You just have to wait for things to fall in naturally, and don't rush, because if you're forcing yourself and you're not being yourself in that whatever dating or relationship, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And for those who are married, or your partner is always right, just always say that. Then you're in safe zone forever.
Actually, someone once told me this, right? When you're married, right, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? So you want to be right or do you want to be happy? You have to balance that.
Happy
that
equals smart. Right. Depends on.
Talk about living to fight another day. Oh my god.
Alright. So take your time, given from someone who is happily married over here.
With two wonderful kids, yes.
Take your time. Taking my time. 37 years old. But guys, it's been a fucking awesome set with you. From discovering you, from playing your songs, from working the back, listening to you guys, and finally talking to you in person. Fit fanboy moment over here. And it's like what I like is you guys are up there, but you're very presentable people. Oh no, not presentable. Very
Down to earth.
Down to earth.
Yeah.
You see, I can't even string proper sentences.
Let me hold him. Let me calm him down.
You stay away from me. But yeah, so it's been an honor to have you guys on Wayvy Grayvy, and we will not stop playing We the Villains. And especially I can't wait for your new tracks to come out. And with that said, I'm going to end the show with Attack of the Whales. In fashion with a We the Villains track. So I want you guys to keep cool, keep calm, keep it all Wayvy Grayvy. I love you. This is We the Villains, Daryl Edmund Oathbreaker Co, and Jeeves with the jokes, the man with the jokes.
Alright, cheers boys.
I love you guys. Peace.